All right, here's a second video for mean median mode. Basically, mean median mode is when we are talking about, move my camera. When we are talking about using what we know about the center of the data to understand what a set of data means. So mean, median, and mode. Mean is what we are used to in real life. We have another word for it. We say average. So for example, we say average cost or average income. That's what a mean is. Median is the number in the middle of the data. Okay, the exact middle. And mode is the most frequently occurring number or data point. Okay. So let's say, for example, we had a quiz. So for example, your grades in classes are the mean, right? It's basically all of your grades added and divided by the total points. That's what mean is, your average, right? So let's say you had a quiz of 21 points, you had a quiz of 19, you had a quiz of 15, another 21, and another one that's 30, right? And so if you wanted to know your average in class, we would have to add all of these up. And that's how you do the average, you base or mean. You add up all the data points that you have. In this case, 21, and the order doesn't matter, plus 19, plus 15, plus 21, plus 30. And then that gives me 106. And then we're going to divide it by total of number of data points. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 data points. So 106 divided by 5. So 21.2. So this will be your average, right, for those 5, which you notice that even though there's a, let's say all the grades were out of 30 points. So this one is really closer to the bottom number of your scores, right? So that 30 kind of pulls it up, but not enough. So mean is very sensitive to extreme numbers. So a number that's much smaller than others and a number that's much larger than the others pulls the data either to the right to the left. Okay. So because of that, mean is now not always the best indicator of the central data and number that's representative of most of the data points. For that reason, sometimes we use median. You hear a lot of people say median income, and that's the reason why, because incomes vary very differently. So in one location, you can have a few people that have super high salaries. And then if we do go by average, it will seem like that area, most people make a lot of money, which is not true. So instead, we look at median, so the middle of the data. So let's look at the same data over here. So finding the median of this data, what that would be. So in this case, for median, you need to always put your data points in order from smallest to greatest, always. So it's not just finding the middle, you have to put them in order from smallest to largest. So 15, 19, we have two 21s, and we have 30, okay? Then we count from the both sides, 1, 2, and then the middle is 21. So the median is 21, which is, in this case, is very close to the average because this really doesn't have extreme data points. If it did, the median would probably be very different than the median, than the average. What if we have, let's do the same thing, right? But add another data point. Let's say let's have a 12 over here, okay? So, and we want to find the median. So we're going to count from the two sides, okay? We're going to, not this one, not this one. And then we want to find the median, but there is no middle number, or there are two middle numbers, a 19 and a 21. When that happens, you take the average of these two, which means that you count from the two sides. Once you have the two middle numbers, you add the two together. and you divide by 2 if the numbers are large and you can't tell what it is. In this case, you know what it is. The number between 19 and 21 is 20, okay? But even you added this one, okay, and divided it, okay, you would get 20. So the median of this data point is 20. So when you have even number of data points to find the median after you put numbers in order from largest to greatest, you take the average of the middle two numbers, okay? Mode is simple. Mode is basically the most frequently occurring number, okay? So in this case, the mode, okay, is 21 because 21 appears twice. All the other numbers appear once. You can have more than one mode actually, okay? So let's say you had 12, 12, 15, 19, 21, 21, 30, 32, 32, okay? So then we're gonna have three modes, okay? 12 and 12, 21 and 21, 32 and 32. So this is trimodal, it has three modes, okay? Now for mode, you don't have to put it in order, but it's easier if you put it in order to just see, okay? But you don't have to. Let's have the same thing and add one more number. Let's add another 32. As soon as you do that, now these two are not modes anymore because 32 appears 3 times more than the other one. So it becomes it has now only one mode because 32 appears 3 times, which is one more than all the other ones, okay? If you have them at the same number of occurrences, then you have more than one mode. But as soon as you have a number that appears once more than the other ones, that becomes your single mode, okay? So measures of central tendency, then mean, median mode, just help us understand how one number can be used to talk about most of the data, how one number can be representative of the most of the data, okay? And that's why you hear the average test scores or the median income. Mode, we usually don't use in real life, in daily life. Very rarely do we say the mode of something, but now you understand what the mean or average is in comparison to median. One of the things I would recommend again for median to pay attention, not recommend that you need to do, you need to put your numbers in order from smallest to greatest. Otherwise, the median you will choose will be wrong. And then you're going to ask me, well, I put the middle number in. Why is this wrong? And then I have to tell you that's probably because you didn't put your numbers in order. So be careful with that. Okay. Hope this helps. And let me know if you have any questions.